Hello, and welcome to the Rhode Island Small Business Coalition's Small Business Forum. I'm your host, Dave Dadekian, a small business owner here in Rhode Island. I own Eat Drink Rhode Island. And with us today is Mayor Bob DaSilva of the city of East Providence. The reason we wanted to talk to the mayor, we don't like to play favorites, but it does seem like East Providence is really just working it for small businesses and trying to get more out there and help them out more. So we wanted to talk to the mayor and happy to have him here today with us.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. So yeah, like I said, my producer Jen and I, we try to see who's out there, who's doing what, and who to talk to about small business. And it does seem like East Providence has a plethora of ribbon cuttings and just a lot going on. And it's nice to see. It's really nice to see. And I know there's other issues we can get into, but why don't you just give us a brief overview of how you get to be mayor. And I know some of your background from reading your bio, but maybe some folks out there would like to know. And what you think of small business and as economic development for your city.
Thank you. Well, this is my second term serving as mayor. My first career was in law enforcement. I was a police officer in the city of Pawtucket for 25 years. I retired as a police captain. During my time with Pawtucket, I served also as a state representative for 2 terms. Started a youth soccer organization here in East Providence called EPYSA with some friends, and then all of a sudden, the city of East Providence, the residents voted to change the charter from a city manager type of government to a mayor form of government. And I had people in the community reaching out to me asking if I would run, and I took them up on it. And it's been an interesting 7 years. We had to deal with a worldwide pandemic. We had to deal with the Washington Bridge, but despite it all, one of the things that we always see consistently is that more people are always looking to invest in coming to East Providence. I have been the benefactor of having been able to celebrate numerous small business openings throughout the city of East Providence with ribbon cuttings. I know that this week alone, we have 2 small businesses that will be cutting ribbons on. I spoke to some people who are looking to come into East Providence. We have a couple of cafes that are going to be opening up soon. We have a restaurant that has great name recognition throughout the state that's looking to come into East Providence. We've got a lot of small businesses that are investing in our community despite whatever challenges may be out there. They find East Providence to be a great location, and it is a great location. It's situated between everything and close to everything.
It's true. It is very centrally located. Yeah.
So I mean, you get to the East Bay rather quickly. You get to the highway into Providence and other points to go to Boston. We have seen a lot of small business people continue to invest in our community, and we're very happy for that.
Yeah, I would say that, just in my sector alone, food and drink, it's been great to see. So you've got some fantastic restaurants there, great brewery there at Crick Point, lots of great spots that I've seen open up in the last few years. And like you said, the pandemic obviously was a challenge. We've worked through that, and now there, other challenges pop up, but it really is nice to see a good community that seems to be forming around these businesses in East Providence too. I kind of regret it in some ways. One of my favorite pizza places and one of my favorite bars is right there in East Providence, Jeff's and Myrtle, and they're neighborhood places, very much so. And I regret that I'm not closer sometimes to get there more often because they're so good. Can you tell us? I took a look at the East Providence website. There's a whole section for small business. The OpenGov interface is great for people using online for forms, taxes, things of that nature. Was that something that you really wanted to get going there in East Providence, and how's that been working out?
Yeah, we actually expanded OpenGov to be more customer and user friendly. We're actually in the process right now also of expanding OpenGov when it comes to getting permits and other requirements for building. So that's been working out nice. And we also, out of the pandemic came some innovative ideas that we have adopted. The state has adopted outdoor dining. Was a big win that came out of the pandemic. And you see more and more restaurants wanting to do that. So we've created processes to make it as easy as possible. Our office, the mayor's office, is situated right next door to the planning department. And anybody looking to start a business, all they've got to do is call me direct, call my office, call the planning department. We sit down with people all the time and we guide them through the process. We want to make it as easy as possible for anybody looking to open a business here in East Providence.
Nice. And as always,
we also have incentive. We have incentives. We have a small business loan program that's been going on for quite some time. It started with a UDAG grant way back, and that money gets loaned out, gets repaid back, and it just keeps recycling. And we've been able to help a lot of businesses get off the ground. A little infusion of capital at a very agreeable interest rate. So that's one program amongst many that we have.
Yeah, it's a great program. I was gonna mention that one because I did notice that, and it's a nice program to see. I know a lot of people have taken advantage of that, and it's helped their businesses start. I was also going to say we'll link up all this down below in the show notes when this is posted. So make sure you click the links and follow through there. But you talked about planning. Development is part of that. I've seen, and I'm sure I've not seen all of it. Lots of regions of the city getting developed in good ways for small business. I think about some of the warehouses on the water. The working waterfront. That's become more consumer oriented and friendly. I think these are great advances. What can you tell us about those, and how's that been going?
Oh, listen, things have been going so great. We are very fortunate here in East Providence. We have a lot of undeveloped former industrial land on the waterfront.
Right.
But in addition, throughout the city, there are former industrial sites that we've been really working hard to get redeveloped. East Point comes to mind. The same developer who developed Kettle Point is developing East Point. Now, when you take a former industrial site that's been sitting there doing nothing and you turn it into a vibrant new residential community, those people support the local small businesses. They're going to go local.
Absolutely.
When they're out eating, when they're dining, when they're going out for a quick, they need something for the house, they're stopping at the local small businesses. So to me, when you develop a former industrial site into new housing opportunities, it also supports the small business. Let me give you another example of something that has been remarkable. We brought a troll, one of the Thomas.
Yes, I was going to mention the troll because I love it. Go ahead. Yes.
I had no idea. Listen, when it was first brought to my attention, I really wasn't in tune to what the Thomas Dambo troll phenomenon was. And we introduced the Thomas Dambo. We looked at some sites. We selected a site. I see people coming from all over the country and outside the country coming to visit this. Now, we are lucky. I think we have 5 trolls right now in Rhode Island. People are coming from all over to Rhode Island. And look, they may not all stop in East Providence to eat or stop in at the local small shops, but they're stopping somewhere in Rhode Island. Whether it's at a hotel, whether it's at a restaurant, they're spending their hard-earned money here in the state of Rhode Island. And I'm hoping that some of that kind of filters out to some of the small businesses here, because we have a lot of great restaurants in East Providence. So when people are visiting the Troll, please stop in at one of our local restaurants and you'll see what a incredible cuisine we have, from Portuguese, Brazilian, Indian. We've got it all.
Yeah, it really is great to see the growth there. And the reason I wanted to bring up the Troll is because it absolutely provides tourism and dollars into the small business community. There's 2 in Westerly. No, I'm sorry, not Westerly, in Charleston, that are wonderful. Those were the first 2. And then what's nice about the East Providence one, I've seen a lot of people posting pictures because it's right there on the path, a bike path, and so it's easily accessible for a lot of people. Some of the others you have to hike, and it's gorgeous to have to hike into the woods in some of these other spots. But to have it easily accessible like that is really nice, and I think that it really is a driver for a lot of that type of commerce.
No, it is, and I see. Like, I thought it was going to slow down, but you go by there on a weekend, and people are coming and going all day, which is wonderful. I think it's wonderful. And then I see we have a Facebook page dedicated to Mrs. Skipper, the Dambo Troll,
right?
And people post stuff all the time. And they're coming from all over the country. It's fascinating. Now, this is a great initiative that was brought to us through a Rhode Island Commerce grant. So we're very appreciative for this in East Providence. It really is about supporting small businesses. Anytime you do a development, whether it's housing or something that attracts people to your community, The offshoot that we hope to get from it is that people will go and visit one of our small restaurants, small businesses, shops. We've got so many things going on.
Yeah, we've talked about that here on this program many times. Infrastructure is, not particularly exciting, but it does help small business. I think about, I mentioned Crook Point Brewery, that roundabout they put there and cleaning up that road. I think that's great for traffic, and that just makes it easier to get to these businesses.
That's absolutely right. And we love Crook Point Brewery. It's one of my favorite places. And once again, a former industrial site transformed into something spectacular, and it brings people from all over. And it's very close to the east side. I mean, you're right on the Henderson Bridge.
Right.
So we get a lot of people from Providence and other areas coming to visit Crook Point Brewery.
So you said the magic word. I hate to talk about it, but it is the elephant in the room. And I have to say, your response, what I've seen in East Providence to the Washington Bridge problem, has been really, really helpful for small businesses. It's been very positive. Providence as well has done very, very positive as well. But how do you see that? It's almost 2 years on now. What have you seen? What do you feel that does for the small businesses there?
Well, early on, it was a challenge. I mean,
Yeah.
The businesses did feel the impact, and thanks to the governor and General Assembly, we were able to get a significant grant, and we did one round of distribution of the grants. We made I think 40 some odd businesses whole for whatever they lost, and we're doing a second round of grants. And I think now when I speak to small businesses, the feedback I'm getting is that they're back to pre-bridge closure activity.
Yeah.
People have learned to navigate the bridge. People have learned that, once they open up the third lane, things have become a little bit better, a lot better actually. And I often remind people, the Washington Bridge, historically, even before it closed, in the morning and in the afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Was gridlock. I mean,
I remember as a kid. Yeah, I was like, why would anyone want this? Yeah.
It was absolute gridlock. Now, what's going to come out of this situation, which, you try to take a negative and try to spin it into something positive.
Exactly.
What's going to come out of this situation is a better designed bridge, a better designed corridor on 195, which will alleviate congestion far better than what they had planned originally. So I think at the end of the day, yes, it's very inconvenient dealing with construction. It's very inconvenient having to have dealt with the initial closure of the bridge. And still, if there's an accident on the bridge, it's terrible, right? Just like it would have happened before.
Exactly, right.
So I look at the situation as the governor has put in a plan to get this bridge replaced. The bridge demolition is ongoing and almost complete. The contractor who's going to build the bridge has experience, has over 100 years of experience, and is going to be building a bridge that they have previously built, so they have that knowledge. And I feel confident that this bridge will get built. Additionally, there's all kinds of incentives that if they get it done by a certain timeline, they get paid. So it's good to see. It's going to get done. I know it's frustrating if there's an accident or a car breaks down, but it's gonna pass. That will pass eventually.
It's good to hear, about those grant programs that went out. I didn't realize there was a second round happening. Can you tell us when that opened, or is I'll find that on the.
It opened up a few months ago. We've already closed it. We put it out there.
Okay.
We actually did outreach to all of our local businesses.
Oh, that's right. We did. I'm sorry. The coalition did share that. I apologize. I'd forgotten about that one. Right. Yes.
And what we're doing now is we've got a program in place where we're paying for advertising, because I want to make this. I want this money to go out.
That part I thought was really interesting. Yeah.
So what we're doing is we teamed up with the East Bay newspaper and the Reporter and some other publications, and we're offering free advertising to our small businesses for the next foreseeable few months. The reason behind it is we look at it. Running a business is not easy. There's all these expenses. You want to take care of your most urgent expenses. Sometimes they don't have extra money for the advertisement. So we're helping them out with that. We're doing free advertising. Not only are we helping out the small businesses, but we're also helping our news publications who also were impacted, because when the bridge first closed, a lot of these people were like, hey, I'm not going to be advertising because we're dealing with this stuff right now. So we're helping out our publications. We're helping out our businesses. It's a win-win for everybody.
No, it's great to hear. Yeah, absolutely. Advertising is key. So it's nice to hear that you're doing those types of ads for small businesses. I can think of several that I'll make sure they hear about this, but also we'll be linking up all that down below as well. So thank you for that. Uh, anything else you want to talk about, regarding small business? This has been a great conversation. I really learned a few things, and it's nice to hear what's going on there in East Providence. Anything else you want to highlight?
I mean, we've had. I mean, look, our administration has, steadfastly supported small businesses. We had a storefront improvement grant that we used some of the
Yeah.
ARPA funds for. That was a great program. We helped rehabilitate a lot of small businesses storefronts to kind of bring more people in. We've been also changing. We've changed zoning ordinances in certain areas to make it more business friendly. So there's been a lot. There's been a lot going on here in East Providence when it comes to business. One of the things we do as an office is we just try to bring notoriety to the existing businesses and the new businesses. I try to use social media as much as I can.
Yep.
I use my Facebook page, Instagram, whatever we have. And then we have a newsletter with 13,000 subscribers. And we put out a newsletter, I think once a week or once every other week. And I hear from the community when I'm out there how much they appreciate receiving these newsletters. They get all the information about the latest businesses, the latest goings on of what's happening in the city. We try to keep people as informed as possible, and we're here to support. Anybody who has an issue or problem, we have an open door policy. Come and see us, and we work with people to try to get them the support they need.
Excellent. Yeah, information is one of the key roles that the coalition has found to be most useful over the last few years since the pandemic. There's so much out there. There's so many things happening. There's so many different ways to find things out. So yeah, people like to go to the new spot. They like to hear about, the new places to go and see. And sometimes those places don't get as much attention because there's so much going on. So it's great that that's in a newsletter like that. I think that's a really great way to get that information out there.
It really is. And you know what? It brings me great joy when we highlight a business and then I hear from the owner. And he's like, Mayor, you won't believe how many people came in here when they saw that video you put out there, or they saw the post you put out there. I've grown the following on my page now over the last few years, and it's nice to see that we can use that platform to
Right.
highlight our small businesses. So
yeah, that's the whole goal of Eat Drink Rhode Island. It's you have this platform, you want people to know about it, and that's great to see it from your end as well. I mean, I think one of the things people always get, I won't say concerned about, but just gets a little wary is how much government is involved, and there are lots of good ways for it to be involved. We've seen that over the years. So that newsletter sounds great, and social media. So thank you for that.
Try our best. Try our best.
Yeah. Well, this has been a really great conversation. I really appreciate your time, Mr. Mayor. This is fun. Everyone out there, go check out East Providence small businesses. I know I talk about food, but there's a lot of other businesses out there. I know there's great clothing stores. Obviously, a lot of tradespeople are in East Providence, and medical folks. You really should check it out. It's a great central location for the state of Rhode Island, and it's nice to have a good conversation with you, Mayor DaSilva.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the invite. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. That was Mayor Bob DaSilva of East Providence. Really fantastic conversation there, and nice to hear what's going on there. We're going to have some more folks in municipal government coming up as well. As always, thank you for watching the Small Business Forum. Check out the links down below. A like, subscribe, comment, all those things would be nice as well. And until next time, take care.